एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरभव निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त अजूनी सहपांग गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है पी सच नानक होसी पी सच एक उदती गुरु नानक देवा ओंकार गुरु अंगद पेवा सतनाम गुरु अमर प्यारे करता रामदास गुरु बारे पुरख श्री अर्जन सुखदानी निरभव हर गोबिंद गुण खानी निर्वैर गुरु है श्री हर राय अकाल मूर्त हर कृष्ण दयाय अजूनी तेग बहादुर राय सहपांग गुर दसमें सहाय गुर प्रसाद ग्रंथ गुर ज्ञाना वाहे गुरु बंधन भगवाना गुरु ग्रंथ काल जुग पयो श्री गुरु रूप महान 10 पातशाह एहो रूप है गुरु ग्रंथ जी जान पूर्ण देखियो आत्मा द्वैत सर्व निवार पै संत मन संते तन पद न मोह मार मुँह कूचरे शास्त्र खट पेंगरन छर जाए अंत लिखे बदरोसने जो काल कृपा कहा बुद्ध प्रभु तो क्षमारी बन सके मैं जो तारी हम न सकता से तुम्हारी आप ले हो तुम कथा सदारी सो कहो टल गुरु सेवी है निस सहज सुभाए दर्शन परस्या गुरु के जन्म मरण दुख जाए दर्शन परस्या गुरु के जन्म मरण दुख जाए वाहिगुरु
सतनाम श्री वाहिगुरु साहिब जी थाप्या ना जाए कीता ना होए आपे आप निरंजन सोए जिन सेव्या तिन पाया मान नानक गाविए गुनी निदान गाविए सुनिए मन रखिए पाओ दुख पर हर सुख कर ले जाए गुरमुख नादन गुरमुख वेदन गुरमुख रहया समाई गुर ईश्वर गुर गोरख बर्मा गुर पार्वती माई जे हो जाना आखा नाही कहना कथन ना जाई गुरा एक देह बुझाई सबना जिया का एक दाता सो मैं विसर ना जाई
वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह गुरु रूप satsang ji वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह. We're continuing on with the definitions of the Sri Japji Sahib by Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Within this Japji Sahib of Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji, there are many definitions given for the words that he gives, for the holy words that he uttered to the Siddhs. The reason for that is there are many questions asked, but the same lines can be used in order to give a definition, rather than repeating a new line to define the question that is being asked. And we have so far gone through the first 4 body, and we are at the moment on the 5th body of the Sri Japji Sahib. We have gone through the definitions by Sant Gurbachan Pardeshi within the Damdami taksals Sampardaic teeka. And what we've now done now is now we've got the Satogali teeka by Sant Kirpal Satogaliwale. And we're just going to go through the definitions from there. There are a lot of similarities between the definitions of this and that one, obviously because they both come from the same school of thought. However, there are a few differences, subtle differences, and we just want to cover those to make sure that all the definitions that are given and heard by the individuals on this video series cover all the aspects of the Japji Sahib. So, like I said, if we've just finished the 4th body within the Sampardaic teeka, the Siddhs have listened to the 4th body and they ask the following questions of Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Say, in order to propagate Vaheguru, you've mentioned everything we need to know, but there are some questions we have about God himself. And there are 6 questions in total. However, there are 3 sets of questions. The first 2 questions go together, third and fourth go together, and the 5th and 6th go together. So the first question, they said, is God Nadi? And what they mean by that is God born from a sound. Is he created from a holy word? The second question is he Bindi? Is he a descendant of lineage from a mother and father? The third one is he Swatantar, which means is God independent? The fourth one is God Patantar? Is he dependent upon another? The 5th one is he Maya Malasahed? That means, is God actually created by Maya? Is he something that has come out of the cause of Maya coming into existence? And the 6th one is God exempt from Maya? So Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji heard all 6 of these questions and he began to answer them through this method. And Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji replied,
थाप्या ना जाए कीता ना होए.
Maharaj, he says, Thapya na jai, kita na hoy. They say, simple as this. For the first 2 questions, this is the answer that's given. Maharaj says that here, also he says, God is not like any king. in this earth. He's not been installed on a throne. He has not been created and placed on a throne through a devotee by a holy word that they've created. So where you get the knighting of a king or a queen or a sovereign taking the throne, they are knighted according to the holy word and the religious scriptures and the ritual that takes place. Within Sikhi we have that as well, where a person takes Amrit. When they take Amrit, they get baptized by Panch Pyare. And the Panch Pyare use the holy word, the Panjabaniya, Sri Japji Sahib, Sri Jap Sahib, Sri Savaiya Sahib, Binti Chaupe and Sri Anand Sahib. These 5 Pauri are read at the time. And it says it's not through the holy word that God is created. We as Sikhs are created in that way. Christians are baptized in a certain way. The Muslims have their own certain customs, but everybody is, through the holy word, is anointed and brought into a faith. And here God is separate. The reason is that there was nobody there to place God on a throne or a seat. He was there alone. He was there on his own. He is the seat. He is the abode. If he can only be placed, you can only be placed on a throne by somebody who's greater than you. So you are given a throne. You are given a position within a cabinet, within a directorship, within a company by somebody who's bigger than you. While God here is the only one at his time. There is no one greater than him. There is no one equal to him. There is no one else around. He there is on his own. So for that reason, he is not created through the holy word. He isn't given a position through the holy word. And that's what Guru Nanak Dev Ji says. He says, Kisane thapya nahi. Nobody placed him on there. Nobody installed him. And for that reason, he is in no way thapya na jai. He is not placed. Kita na hoy. And, nobody placed him. Nobody gave him this title. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji then continued.
Ape aap niranjan soy.
So the first answer was given in respect to the first question. Is God Nadi? No, he isn't. According to this, he wasn't created or installed in accordance to the holy word. And here, so Guru Nanak Dev Ji say here, and the second question was also answered there, Kitana hoy. At the same time, God was not, he was not born of a mother and father. In Gurbani it says it, Nata ko koi tat matan na payan, that God does not have a mother or father. He is not born from another. So God is neither Nadi, he is neither Bindi. He is exempt from both of these. And then the next 2 questions is he independent or is he dependent? And Kamalpreet Singh recited Ape Aap Niranjan Soy. So God here is Ape Aap Kahan Karke. He says because he himself, that means God is Satantar. He is independent. He is not somebody who is dependent on the word of another. He is not directed from another. He is not controlled by another. God is independent in every way. He is not dependent. So here Guru Nanak Dev Ji answered, they say, God is Satantra, he is not Patantra. He does everything to his own will and his own divine command. He does not have to listen to another. He is not a deen of another. However, he does listen to others. I'll give you that. He goes, Jo Sharna with this Kantalai Hoy Bird Swami Sanda. And what that means is that if the Guru, if the devotee comes into the shelter of the Guru embraces them by the neck. He takes them to their next touch, they embrace. So Bird Swami Sanda, the Guru is a deen. He is not controlled, but he will listen to the will and desire of his bhagats. And the God is shown through the life of the bhagats, through Bhagat Nanak Dev Ji, going through his torture, his, God arrived. The story of Hari Harshetar, where you have the tussle between the elephant and the crocodile, and the Bhagat there, the elephant holds up the lotus blossom, pleading for God to arrive, because the elephant in his previous life was a Gandharva and had knowledge of his previous life. And Vishnu arrived on his Gadar and saved him. Again, Bhagat Tanaji did his bhakti, and instead God arrived there and said, "What do you want me to do? Work my well, look after my cattle, do this, do that." So God is independent, but He will always assist His bhagats whenever they need help. So for that reason, that is the question there: is God independent or is he dependent? And then obviously the next question they have is Ape Arpananjan. So within that question is asked: is God exempt from Maya or is he part of Maya? And here Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji says that Ape Ap Niranjan. So they say that God is the form of purity. He himself is pure. Niranjan. So Ape Ap Niranjan. So Niranjan. So God is without darkness, without black. What that means is God is without Maya. God himself is independent, but he is the form of purity. He has always been the form of purity. And in this way, through those first two lines, Tapyana Jai Kitana Hoy, Ape Apnanjan, so Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji answers all 6 questions that the Siddhs posed to him. That God is neither Nadi, he is neither Bindi. He is exempt from both of those. He cannot be put into a category there. But God is independent, and at the same time he is the form of purity. He is exempt from Maya. He is above Maya. Maya does not control God. Like we said before, if you start breaking things down, you have Brahm. Brahm is the form of Vaheguru. Vaheguru needed to create a holy word. Oankar, but it states in Gurbani that Oankar is the word that was used to create the universe. Maya comes into existence then. When God needs to take a form, he merges himself with Maya to become Ishwar, where he takes an avatar. So that's where issues and lines become blurred, but that is all Vedanta, is understanding the metaphysics of what God is and what is God, what is the Sargun, Nirgun, Gur Shabad forms. So the Siddhs have heard these six answers so far, and then they ask to say, has anybody ever fully remembered God? Has anybody ever remembered God in such a way? Has anybody ever served God, or anybody ever been able to recall God who is endless? And Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji answer, they say, infinite numbers of people have remembered him. Infinite numbers of people have worshipped him. And the Siddhs then said, okay, if that's the case, then please tell us who has meditated upon him, and what is the merit that they have gained from remembering him. And Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji reply,
Jin sevya ten paya man.
Here Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, look, Siddhs, those human beings, those people who have remembered Vaheguru, who have meditated on Vaheguru, they have gained respect within this world. So the Siddhs have said, okay, you're saying that a lot of people have served Vaheguru, done his seva, have meditated upon him, but what is that they've gained? You've said they've gained respect. That's fine. So people can gain respect without worship. But you say that they've gained respect through the worship of Vaheguru, and they've been given praise. But what does that mean? So Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji then replied and said, look, Siddhs, he said those people who have worshipped Vaheguru, those people who have paid respect to Vaheguru, have gained respect within this world. They've become without man, nirman. They don't want this fame and fortune. They don't desire it. Those people who are worldly desire it. They desire to be worshipped. They desire to be a role model. They desire to be followed around by paparazzis and have their names on stages and spoken about. But here, they've become nirman, where they don't want this, and they've done that. They've done that in such a way that they look at themselves and consider themselves to be the dust of the Guru as well. And then what they've done is, the other thing that they've done is, through the worship of Vaheguru, they've become one with Vaheguru. They've gained Vaheguru. And they've been, the other thing that they've realised is God is exempt from the 6 Brahmans. Now we've gone over the 6 Brahmans before, so there's no point going over that again. But they become, they realise God through these 6 Brahmans. And then they realise that God is exempt from these 6 Brahmans as well. But they've gone through all the basic studying in order to understand God. And they get to such a point where they are well known throughout the world. Take Satogali Gurbachan Singh Ji, they'll never be forgotten about because they're teeka, because of their katha, because of what they gave to the Sampardaic, to Dandam taksals. Satogali Janel Singh Ji for his wisdom, his spiritual prowess, his rights for the civil rights movement is a way of bringing a mass together to fight for something under the civil rights movement, which is very similar to what we saw under Martin Luther King and other respected leaders in civil rights. You still got people today. Sant Singh Ji is sat in Pindri. They're 99 years of age as of yesterday. 99 years of age. And they are respected, not because of anything they've done, but other than recite the name of God, other than utter the name of God. And they are well respected. Talk to any Sikh saints, doesn't matter what lineage or background they come from, they will all mention Sant Singh Ji within the same vein of light. So here Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji said, this is what people propagate. They gain this, and they've got this due to the respect of the world, that they gain all these qualities themselves. And Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji continue,
Nanak gaviye guni nidan.
Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji is saying here, they say what that person becomes, this is the merit, is that they gain all the qualities and virtues which Vaheguru has. They gain all those qualities. Those are the virtues and qualities that they sing about. Nanak gaviye guni nidan. They say that Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji says is that, they sing about God, who is the treasure trove of all these qualities, but at the same time that being becomes the treasure trove of those qualities as well. They gain those qualities. And so the Siddhs have heard this now. They've heard that this is the merit that a person gains. They gain all these qualities of strength, wisdom, piety, desire for religious knowledge, liberation. This is what they gain. And Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji is then asked, said, look, are they just singing the praises of God, or do they actually listen to him as well? And Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji replies,
Gaviye suniye.
Here Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, look, they're not just singing the praises of God, but here they say those people who sing the praises of God, they all meet together, sit in front of Vaheguru. They sit together and they listen to each other's knowledge on Vaheguru as well. And they listen to all the praises of Vaheguru to understand what is being told about the qualities of Vaheguru. Gaviya Suniya, that's what Maharaj says. And then the Guru continues.
Man rakhiye pao.
They say after they've listened to all the Gaviya Suni, so they've listened. They've sung and then they've listened. So when they've listened, they've gained all the qualities and their mind has become at rest. And after doing that, they propagate inner peace. And then, they say within their mind, they adopt the love of God. And after doing that, they gain even further tranquility within their mind. And the merit of doing that is
Dukh parhar sukh kar le jaye.
What happens then is Dukh parhar. What happens is all the pain is dispelled. It's eradicated from the body. It's eradicated from the mind. Any sort of anxious thoughts, any burdens or doubts that the person carries are all dispelled because they've listened, they've sung the praise of God, they've adopted it within their mind, and they've done that with love and devotion. And by doing that, a person's troubles are all dispelled, and instead within their heart, the God here is the heart. Within their heart is full of bliss and happiness. And this is the merit of singing the praise of God. So we've had the 6 questions here and the reason why a person should sing the praise of God. And so far what we're going to do is just leave that there for today, and then we'll continue on tomorrow or further, going through some of the same punkti again, which is Gavi Suni Kirpal, and then going into the Guru itself, the Gurmukhi and the Guru. Those are the next things we're going to go into, but for today we'll leave it there. Kamalpreet Singh, if you can close up, please.
Tapya na jaye, kita na hoy, ape aap niranjan soy, jin sevya tin paya maan, nanak gaviye guni nidan, gaviye suniye, man rakhiye pao, dukh parhar sukh kar le jaye, Gurmukh nadan, Gurmukh vedan, Gurmukh rahya samai, Gur Isar, Gur Gorakh Varma Gur, Parvati Mai, Je ho jana, Akha nahi, Kehna Kathan na jai, Gura ek dehe bujai, Sabna jiya ka ek data, So main visar na jai.
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. He Gobind, He Gopal, He Dayal Lal, Prananath Anath Sakhe Deen Dard Nivar, He Samrat Agam Purana Mohe Mayatar, Andhakup Mahapayan Nanak Pariyatar, Aye Prabhu Sarnagati Kirpane Dayal, एक अखर हर मन वस्त नानक होत निहाल, एक अखर हर मन वस्त नानक होत निहाल। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह।